You're not a bad person for having boundaries. You just have self-respect. As somebody who is coming out of being a people pleaser, who is learning how to have boundaries and how to communicate them and how to not feel guilty, I know how much it sucks and how scary it is to possibly come off as cold or harsh. And you're not. I've drilled this into my head for quite some time now because it was just not sticking. I could not get past the feeling of being selfish or the feeling of guilt when just the thought of creating a boundary that I was not used to or that I knew I needed to create, but it would just truly negatively affect me to create it. The stomach drop, it's the sweaty palms, it's the uncontrollable shaking, the anxiety. There's such a negative connotation to selfishness. There are moments and there are ways to be very disrespectfully selfish, of course, absolutely, but that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about self-love. We are talking about having boundaries because boundaries are not just for you, but they are for the people around you that you love and care about and want to have healthy relationships with. Because not only does it help them treat you well, but it also helps them treat themselves well. It also helps them build with you in a way that creates a healthy dynamic between the two of you. Nobody's crossing over each other's boundaries. It makes it okay for them to have boundaries. Over-explaining is a challenge for me. Has been my whole life because I've always felt misunderstood. I've always felt that people took everything I did or things that I've said the wrong way because they didn't know what was happening in my brain. They didn't understand how I felt. And it's not that I couldn't articulate it because I'm pretty good at articulating my emotions, my feelings. People just could not relate, and I feel like that is why I felt misunderstood. It's not because they didn't understand the words that I was saying. They just couldn't feel the depth of what I was saying, of what I was expressing to them. I embrace it so much more now. One of the big misconceptions about having boundaries and why it feels so hard is because we're avoiding conflict, thinking that it will lead us to more peace. That's a damn lie. Why? Because there is no peace within ourselves if we don't have boundaries. You are dismissing yourself. You are invalidating your feelings. You are spreading yourself far too thin when you are avoiding any type of conflict, thinking that it's going to lead to peace because, yeah, maybe for them, maybe they're going to feel good because everything's working in their favor. Everything's working in a way that benefits them. But where does that leave you? Uncomfortable, invisible. Let's be real. I'm still working on this. I'm not perfect by any means. I have not figured it all out, found all the hacks. No. I'm still working on it. It is a work in progress. I have been a people pleaser for 33 years, okay? So it's gonna take a little bit of time to break those habits, but I can tell you right now that whatever I'm doing right now is working. I went no contact and I isolated myself. It has allowed me to reinvent myself, to basically start over so that when I get put in those same situations, I now feel like I do have the strength to create my boundaries and stand by them. Saying no to people with less explanation has been tricky, but it has been something that when I have done it, I have enjoyed it. Being able to just be like, oh, why not? Like, is the explanation gonna change anything? And it's not to be rude, but it's really to get people to understand. When you ask why, what are you asking for truly? Are you asking, is there a way I can convince you? Because that's what most people do. And now that I understand that, I don't need to tell you why. I guess maybe the most painful realization that has helped me become okay with creating boundaries and being able to stand behind them is understanding that people who love you will respect your boundaries. How you feel matters to them. That makes it easier to cut loose Anybody who crosses your boundaries and does not care because it makes them feel uncomfortable to respect your boundaries. It doesn't align with them to respect your boundaries. Okay, bye. Boundaries are not walls. People think that they're barriers, that it's supposed to keep people out. But what it's really doing, it's creating clarity, not for just myself, but also for the people around me. This is how I am, this is how I want to be treated, and you can either respect it or you can keep walking right past me. And it allows me to be able to see what people's true intentions are, because people who have ill intentions will not respect your boundaries. Having boundaries takes practice. If anybody tells you that it's easy, they're lying. It's gonna take some time, and it doesn't mean that you're not worth having boundaries. Have pretend conversations. I know it sounds weird, it sounds silly. I don't want to do that. I love you, but that doesn't work for me. I don't really feel comfortable with that. Practice makes perfect. And stop being scared of how people are going to react. Let them. Their reaction has absolutely nothing to do with you. It's them. It's their entitlement. They're projecting their insecurities onto you. It's their delusion. Your piece isn't up for debate, so let them react. And the more you show up as somebody who protects their energy, as somebody who has boundaries and sticks by them, the more people are going to know how to operate around you. They're going to know that you mean business. They're going to know that you have self-respect. And they'll have no choice but to move accordingly. It's going to be really hard in the beginning because people are so used to you being who you are. Yeah, they're going to find out real quick that you're not that person anymore. When you think about it, letting someone be upset is not worse than abandoning yourself, than abandoning your needs, than abandoning everything you are and everything you deserve so that they can be comfortable. That ends today. Now it's time to choose yourself.